Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Kidron here with another video or reaction or anything in general for you guys. In this video, I'm going to be discussing my thoughts, opinions, and overall feelings on Iron Fist Season 2. Now, as a warning, before I get into my discussion or thoughts on this entire season, this video may contain spoilers, so just take that as a warning and watch at your own risk. So without further ado, although I really don't want to make this intro too long, so without further ado, let's just get right into it. So now, Iron Fist Season 2. Okay, I have been wanting to watch the second season of the show for so long, and over the course of like a month ago, it came out like a month ago now, I finally had the chance to actually watch the show. And for those of you who don't know, who may not know out there, it only streams like all the episodes. It only goes on Netflix or like all at once, and that is something that I really enjoy, that all the episodes are on Netflix at once. So so Iron Fist Season 2. So with this season, I found it to be a little more action paced and really intense now that like for me, I feel like Season 1 was like, getting to know the character, where he came from, and you found out that he is Danny Rand, the main character. He defeated the dragon in Kunlun, and he became the immortal Iron Fist, and we learned all of that in Season 1 and stuff. And I really like what they were doing with it, like the change of pace and stuff, because for me, I think that this show, it really settled into itself now, and it wasn't repetitive, which I really liked. So I really like this season. A lot more like action and in-depth talks and discussions with everything that with all the repercussions of Season 1 that happened from before. There was a little more explanation as to why things happened at the end of Season 1 the way they happened, and we got to see a little more insight into, like, we got to see a whole new different villain, and like a whole new different stuff. And I don't know if you guys remember properly, but at the end of Season 1, I remember Danny, he went back to Kunlun to try to try to visit his monks, the Shaolin monks, about where he came from. He tried to visit Kunlun, and at the end of Season 1, we realized that all the monks in Kunlun, well, I assumed that all of the monks in Kunlun were dead. So, and he, in that moment, he was really heartbroken, and stuff. And and then we get to see that the opener of Season 2, we get to see like this whole new side of Danny, this character with a main focus, who knows what he wants and stuff. And it's really interesting to see like another whole kind of dark side of him, because in Season 1 he was kind of subtle and gentle and finding his place. But now that he realized what his true calling is, he he sets out to fulfill that calling as the immortal Iron Fist. And then we get to see that he doesn't really have like a entire full costume. Now, I've heard rumors going around that in Season 2 Danny would have gotten a costume to accompany his powers or something like that. But I didn't really see it as a costume. I saw it more as an accessory to his whole persona. He has like this mask over his face to kind of hide his identity, and he wears this kind of hoodie. Well, yeah, this sort of hoodie stuff. And like throughout like the first episode, we kind of get to see like where this show, or where this season of this show takes the show other series going on from there, because we realized that you know, this season was like about, it has like two gangs was warring against each other. They were called I forgot what they were called. I think it was the Hatchets and the Golden Tigers, right? The Hatchets and the Golden Tigers. So those were two gangs in New York City that were warring against each other. And Danny and the girl, he is his girlfriend, who he's living with, Colleen. She is you know, she and him, they were both on the move, or both on the hunt for the, trying to figure out who was behind all of these gang wars and stuff like that. And I really like seeing their dynamic more, of like being on the field more, you know. And yeah, well, yeah, their dynamic on the field was really good. And then throughout the season, we got to see like who this villain is, who this main villain is, aside from the two gangs that were warring against each other. And the villain's name is Davos, and Davos is back in Konglan. We got a little history about where Davos came from. Obviously he came from Konglan. So we learned that why Davos came to New York City, because we realized that in flashbacks, both Davos and Danny trained together to see who would be the better fit to wield the Iron Fist. And I found that to be really interesting. And then we see in the present, we see that Davos came to talk to Danny about certain like matters. He said, we have, and I quote, he said, this is in like his words, he said, Danny, yes brother, I'm here because we have certain matters to discuss. And I was kind of something was off about him, because knowing from the flashbacks that we saw, we know that he always wanted to take the Iron Fist from Danny, but Danny never wanted that. And then through the progression of season 2, we see more involvement of Davos as like the main villain, and in order for him to get what he wants, he was going around like enforcing his own laws and trying to make the city his own. And that was really interesting to see. I find like to me, I found in season 1 the villain was okay, but in season 2, Davos being the villain, he added much more depth and much more like sinisterness and scariness and action throughout the whole season. And then we realized that when back in Conlon too, when Danny and Davos, it had a time they were training together, and while they were training, a point in time, the masters of the whole school or whatever where they were training, or the dojo, wherever they were training, the masters of that place, they saw Danny to be the better fit for the Iron Fist. And when Davos heard about that, he got really angry and he was upset and whatever. So, and we realized that the whole reason he came back to New York was to discuss that whole matter of Danny stealing the Iron Fist from him. And we realized that is why he was so angry and why he was so bloodthirsty with vengeance and stuff. So that was really interesting. What else? I'm trying to figure out like what else happened during like throughout the season. We see that like a lot of things happen. We see more things with the Ward Corporation, with the Ward Corporation, sorry, with the Danny Rand company, his company. We realize that Joy. Now I don't know what went on with Joy. Like Joy, she, after season 1, like she went off the rail, she went off the grid, and like apparently somewhere along the line in season 2 she had a meeting in the whole business, and one day she just mysteriously showed up, and her brother was like, what are you doing here? How could you just, like, why would you just left? Why would you just leave and not say anything? You were left without a trace, and now you just want to, like, come back into the business and come back into our life. But she had an ulterior motive, and when I found out what the ulterior motive is, I was like, I was so shocked. I was not expecting that, because she, knowing how she came back, she was looking at like a little on the dark side, and then throughout the season, with her storyline, with oh gosh, with her storyline, we realized that she is working for Davos. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, she and Davos working together. But then obviously throughout, like, coming on to the wire of the season, we realized that Davos never really wanted to work with her. He was just using her as some plot in his game to overthrow the whole city and to take back the Iron Fist from Dany. So he saw her as an opportunity to get into Dany's head, because she apparently, I'm not sure if she told them, like, who Dany really was as a businessman and where to find him. But we find out that he really wanted to, like, overthrow her and overthrow the whole city and let the gang wars continue, and he wanted to be the superior, the person. So, and that was really cool. Okay, let me see. Let me check my stuff. So we talk about Davos. We talk about Dany thing. Dany Davos. What else am I missing? Oh my gosh. And wow. I'm trying to figure out what else happened. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. But I remember this one particular part where I think it was like the last episode of the season, where we had this big showdown or face-off between Dany and Davos, and I find that really interesting to see these two sacred, people fighting against each other. One of them trying to take over the Iron Fist from the other, and then the other one is trying to protect the whole city and stuff. And then we realized, like, at the end of the last episode of season 2, we realized that, somewhere along the line, like in that episode I believe, or the episode before the last one, Dany had some second guessing about if he should really keep the Iron Fist as or be the wielder and protector of the Iron Fist for himself. And he discussed it with Colleen, and he discussed it with Colleen, and he realized that she would be a better fit, and he wanted to give up the Iron Fist. Now, when it had a point in time when Davos heard about that, and he wanted to, like, steal the Iron Fist from him, so but he didn't, like, really steal it in a good way, obviously, because he's the villain. He had these there was another scene in, like, throughout the season where he performed this ritual with these three kind of these three ladies who are tattoo artists, and he got the blood of a goat or some human blood or blood of something, and they performed this ritual on him. So, and then there was a point in time where Davos found Dany at his lowest point, and he saw that as an opportunity to steal the power of the Iron Fist from him and use it to his own advantage. And I found that to be so fascinating, but in a kind of evil way, because obviously Davos is the villain, and throughout the season Davos was going to extreme lengths to get whatever he wanted. And that was really kind of interesting to see the villain and to kind of see the hero at the lowest point, because in these type of shows we always see the hero as the superior person, but then we see at certain points, I find it was kind of interesting to see Dany at his lowest point and to try to figure out what Davos was really up to and try to recuperate himself. And he always had people who were there for him, namely Colleen and Misty. Misty was the the New York police officer, the chief of police officer or something. But and they were always there for him. But it had certain points of the season where I was kind of frustrated with Danny because he never really had a plan going into to like the situations with Davos. He never really had a plan like about how he would go about defeating Davos or speaking to Davos about certain things. But even though if he wanted like to speak to Davos openly about certain things, Davos would always counteract him and tell him all kind of stuff about how Davos should have been the real one to really Iron Fist, and he called Danny weak and stuff like that, and we saw Danny at his lowest point, but Danny always never had a plan when it came to like going up against Davos, and he always had to rely on people, and he was never thinking things through, and I find that kind of really that little point, that little tidbit was kind of really frustrating me with Danny's character this season. But it had points where he had to know how to sit back and relax and like kind of regroup himself and think things through, and execute certain plans to go up against Davos. And then when he really executed a plan, he had all the help he could get. And then everybody in the city, especially the two gangs that were going against each other, everybody in the city realized that Davos was really the evil person, because he was trying to recruit his own Davos. He was trying to recruit his own group of followers to go against the whole city of New York and take over the whole city. But when they realized, like from news reporters and stuff, and from like different sides of the gangs or whatever, when everybody had their own issues to deal with. But what I really like seeing is that when it came to everybody else realizing who the main like plot or not plot, sorry, who the main villain is, or who the main evil person is, they really executed a good plan to take him down, and I really find it was a good season. And at the end of this season, we realized that Colleen is the new Iron Fist, and she is able to like, her Iron Fist is white, and she is able to like channel that energy, or channel the energy or the power or chi of the Iron Fist through her katana, and I found that really interesting. And she said that now that she has the power, she will do whatever it takes and fight for the city that she loves and whatever. And I found out that to be really interesting and really good. And then after that scene, after the credits roll through, we see a scene where Danny, he was in Hong Kong or it's either Hong Kong or Japan or China or something, but he was in this bar, and then he and Ward, that is Joy's brother, he and Ward was at in this bar, and then we realize we see the scene of some thugs trying to come in and rob the bar and stuff like that, and then we see that Danny somehow he has two guns. He has two guns at his side, and like apparently he got it from somebody. I forgot the man's name who Danny got the guns from. But when he realized that what the people and them came to do when they came to rob the bar and whatever, he out of nowhere, I wasn't expecting that coming. Or like out of nowhere, we see Danny pull out these two pistols, and he's able to focus his chi in the gun, and when he fires the bullets, he is like able to shoot the bullets, and the bullets are like around the bullets. So in the bullets is infused with chi, and I found that to be really interesting. And we see that the chi, like, it's kind of indestructible in my opinion, because the chi is like a powerful force that could break through anything. Because the robbers who came to rob the bar, they tried to shoot at Danny, and then from the moment Danny realized that, he fired the pistol, and the chi from the bullets mashed up or destroyed the robber's bullets. And I found that really interesting. And then there was this scene where he said, where Danny watched them, he looked at the robbers and said, try that again and you'll see what happens or something like that. And I found that to be really interesting to know that that was like a really good plot twist at the end of season 2, and it sets up good things for season 3. Like, you know, some of the things that really interest me at the end of season 2 was the fact that, you know, Colleen has this new power of the Iron Fist, and then you know, she realizes that she could do some good with the Iron Fist, even though she said, I don't think she ever said she really wanted it, because she always told Danny it was his own and stuff like that. I found that to be really interesting to see a female wield the Iron Fist, and I've heard some interesting things like about the comics regarding that storyline of how Colleen got the Iron Fist and stuff like that. And I think that part will be explored more in season 3. And for some reason, I'm really intrigued to see how they're going to explain or explore that side of Danny where he suddenly has his powers of the Iron Fist back again, and he's able to channel his chi through these bullets, and you know, through these guns, or and make these like the guns or something, or make the bullets indestructible so it can destroy anything. And yeah, so that's basically it for the end of Iron Fist season 2, and that is all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave your comments in the comment section below, or send me a message or email or whatever if you have any questions about this season. What did you like? What was your favorite part? What did you like? What did you not like so much, you know, and anything like that. But so that is the end of this season, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye bye.
Look at my channel. Look at my channel.